Have you ever taken a complaint to human resources expecting a full blown investigation only to find out that nothing happened? How do you know when HR should investigate and when they won't? In today's video, we are breaking down exactly when you can expect an investigation and when you shouldn't. Hi, I'm Harlow Reed, employment lawyer, HR consultant, and creator of the HR Insider. On this channel, I do more than share my legal opinion. I break down real legal cases to show how the law might apply to your situation. All right, so today's going to be a little different. I'm following up on a video about workplace investigations that went off the rails, but this time we're flipping it. I'm breaking down 10 things HR doesn't actually need to investigate. Let's get into it. The content on this channel is for informational purposes only and shouldn't be taken as legal advice. Always consult a qualified attorney or HR professional for guidance on your situation. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. When employees bring complaints to human resources, sometimes they need to vent, but at the same time, they don't know what to say to get their issue resolved. So, a lot of times they're just trying to figure out what is the best approach they should take. And they leave a lot of information out, or they just don't include enough details for human resources to know what action would need to be taken because what I'm talking about is the who, what, when, where. An investigation can't go anywhere without specifics. So, if you have a claim that comes to human resources that is filled with detailed allegations, specific behaviors, dates, and patterns of misconduct, this is the kind of complaint that does need an investigation. But someone who comes in and vents and does not include those specific details, that's not an investigation that should take place. Okay, so next up is a complaint that comes to human resources that's based on a rumor or things that are being said about people in the office, but there's nothing to substantiate that either the rumor or the gossip is true. Investigations have to be based on facts, not speculation. So if someone files a complaint on secondhand rumors versus direct experience, what they've witnessed, what they've seen, or inappropriate conduct that they've witnessed, then human resources does not have to investigate that. Any allegation that an employee makes that's not a violation of a company's policy or a violation of the law does not require an investigation. Sometimes people are annoying at work, sometimes people are unprofessional at work, but that doesn't always violate a policy at work and it doesn't always violate the law. If you have allegations of harassment or retaliation, those are clear violations of not only policies, but things that could have legal implications. But if people don't get along well at work. Let's say if there's a personality conflict, one person likes a lot of details and another person is more of a big picture thinker and they can't seem to get on the same page. They're like oil and water. That doesn't require an investigation because those two people don't get along in the workplace. Do not expect an investigation if the complaint has already been investigated and resolved, because reopening an old case without new evidence is unnecessary and could create an environment where a person who is being accused feels as though they are being attacked. So, if an issue isn't a repeat of something that has already been addressed and it's been formally resolved, then you don't need to reopen a full investigation. You may need to revisit the issue, you may need to follow up on a few things, but you don't need to complete a whole new investigation on something that has been resolved. So, oftentimes, employees will come to human resources just because they are trying to figure out what is the best solution. They don't have a formal complaint that they are bringing, but don't know what action they should take. And so, if they just want to express frustration but not file a formal complaint, then it's okay for HR not to conduct an investigation, especially if there's not enough documentation that would support the claim that the employee is making. Along those same lines, sometimes people do come to human resources to voice frustration, but they have no credible evidence. They have no witnesses. They don't even have their own timeline or documentation or examples that they can share with you to help support the allegations that they are making. And if no one can support the claims, an investigation might not go anywhere anyways. And if the writing is on the wall with an investigation, you can see that there's nowhere that this can go, then you should not, if an employee is making a grievance under these circumstances, they should not expect that HR would conduct an investigation. Any complaint that's made in retaliation or bad faith based on what's happening in the workplace, let's say if two people don't get along, one files a complaint wanting the other one to get fired, or two people have a long history of not getting along, one comes in and files a complaint, you really have to tease out whether or not there's any validity to that. If an employee has been written up and now they are making an accusation against their supervisor that they had never made before. These are things that are made in bad faith. And anytime it's obvious that a complaint was made out of revenge or as a personal attack, it's usually not going to warrant an investigation. What you're looking for is someone who has nothing to gain by coming in and making a complaint to human resources and assessing that to help determine if an investigation is needed. There are times at work when supervisors are not going to get along with the people that report into them, where coworkers are not going to get along well. There are times where there will be a personality clash. And those are issues that are not about misconduct or violation of policy. HR doesn't need to investigate people who don't get along at work. That's just really a bad issue to bring to HR. If you're looking for guidance and support, that's one thing. But if you're looking for HR to make it so that people are playing nice together, that's not the role of HR. People should go to work and conduct themselves in a professional manner, even if you don't get along with the people that you work with. There is still a way to conduct yourself so that business operations can continue, and that should be the expectation. The expectation shouldn't be that everybody gets along well at work. Sometimes employees are so either afraid of sharing information or they simply are wanting to protect other people at work. They may be concerned about their own career. There could be a number of reasons why people don't want to cooperate with an investigation and provide enough detailed information so that a proper investigation can take place. But if an employee won't give those details, or refuses to be interviewed, an investigation might not be possible. You have to be willing, once you initiate that step of filing a complaint with human resources, you want to make sure you have your documentation. You want to make sure you can have witnesses if they exist. If they don't, provide the documentation that you have. And then you'll have to allow the process to happen. As I said so many times on this channel, if you are working with HR and you feel like you have a good HR department, allow them to do their jobs, allow them to get to the heart of whatever the issue is and offer a viable solution rather than keeping it close to heart and not dealing with it. What I have seen is people will hold things for a very long time. And by the time they bring it to human resources, they're literally ready to explode. And that's not going to resolve anything because investigations take time. And more likely than not, it's not going to move as quickly as you would like. So it's a delicate balance. You don't want to run to HR about everything, but at the same time, you don't want to come to them where you're at your breaking point either. So making sure that you are ready and willing to cooperate and provide the information necessary so that HR can conduct a full investigation is necessary in order for that investigation to proceed. Anytime an employee brings an issue that's related to performance or related to what their supervisor is asking them to do, is related to work quality or the demands of the job, and it's not related or rooted in discrimination or them being treated differently from others, that's not related to their job. If it's something related to performance, those types of things have to be dealt with as a performance management issue, not as an investigation, because work quality is about doing what's expected in your job. It's not about a violation of a person's right of discrimination or some violation of policy. It's basically meeting the expectations of the job that you've been assigned to do. So before you take a complaint to human resources about a performance deficiency that you have, ask yourself, is this something that my job requires that I do? Or is this something that my supervisor is asking me to do that's not a part of routine business? And if it is not a part of routine business, then yes, I would say talk to HR and determine if you want to file a complaint. But if it is a part of routine business, I would not recommend filing a complaint because that's not something that would need to be investigated. Investigations shouldn't happen every time someone files a complaint, but when serious claims are made, they need to be handled properly. And if anything you can walk away with is knowing that a well conducted investigation matters. And so if the claim is serious, that is what you should expect. If you want to know more about how to conduct an investigation and more about what you can expect, watch my video Workplace Investigations Gone Wrong, because that gives you great insight on what happens with bad investigations and the consequences and what you should expect from your HR department. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you in the next video.